We're in the squash garden right now. This has been the real large garden we had back in May, and it started producing a good bit, a lot more than what we really wanted. So I plowed half of it over here, and that half has been replanted now. But we've sold a lot of this squash here, and we've given away an awful lot of this squash, and the customers, they're wanting some more stuff, so we're going to diversify and plant other things in here. Okay, we're in the corn patch now. The last time we was here, you couldn't really see any corn in this patch, and like I said before, we didn't really get a good stand in this field, but I let it go, and we're doing all right now. The corn is starting to tassel. In a couple more weeks, we'll start having some ears to fill out and be harvesting this. We have one row of purple hull peas over here, and at the top field, top row up here. That's usually the poorer row on one of these sloping fields, is the top row. It doesn't hurt to put a little something in there to build up the soil. But this is how sweet it is. It'll be good. Okay, over here we have the okra. This okra is the Clemson spineless. Well, I didn't get a very good stand in it either, but we're going to make a good bit of okra out of this field anyway. I've gone back and in the skips, and I replanted some of it, and those plants are coming up now. And I'll be having to come back through here and side dress these plants and maybe plow it out one more time before these plants get too big to get in here and fool with. They'll take off now. We're up in the tomato patch now. Tomatoes are doing pretty good. They're looking pretty good. Some of them have the blossom end rot, but I think that's kind of usual for the first tomatoes. Usually the first tomatoes are ripe and usually are bad ones. It's always been my luck. But these are Rutgers here, and that's an old-timey tomato, sort of an acidic tasting tomato that I grew up with, and I kind of enjoy that for the most part. Over here, I want to show you this. This is my idea of deer protection in the field here, and basically you can see I took down my electric fence and quit that, and I put a rag up here, and that's soaked in diesel oil. But right now I'm using a mothball in there, which makes a strong scent all through the garden here. I think what it is, the deer smell these, and it's like a scent marking. That's my theory on it. But since I put this up, I haven't seen any deer tracks in the garden, and it's been working pretty good. It worked good for me last year in the okra patch, and I didn't have any damage in my okra patch at all last year, even though the deer did walk through it. Right now we're over in the backyard garden just behind the house here. Last month you saw these. They weren't very tall at all, but in just a month these things really shoot up. They're just now starting to bloom. This is one of my first ones to bloom. You see one here just breaking out, and it'll take a little while for those heads to expand. The seeds they get pollinated and they'll expand out, and the heads will get much bigger. And this is one of the multi-flowered ones. They'll have flowers all the way down and around the plant. But these came up volunteer, and I had to transplant them up here. Okay, this is the beans, and this is one of the problems I've had down here, is those bean beetles have hit me, the larvae of them. They've hit them pretty hard, and I didn't really get out here quick enough to get anything done with it. I've been doing it more or less organically, and I've just, hit it with soapy water. I don't really want to hurt the bees or anything any more than I have to. But on down here we have the corn. You can see it's tasseling and silking, and it'll be pretty close. It's in the lower part of the field, and in the earlier part of the spring we had an awful lot of rain, and that sat in water, and it really set that corn back. It didn't do very well, but it looks like it's going to make a few ears out of it anyway. And then we got some okra down here, and it's coming up, and it's kind of skippy too. I've had a lot of problems getting stuff up this year. I think I started way too early.